The lava flows on Mustafar don't care about history. They just burn. Darth Vader, still bleeding from his initiation into darkness, stands over the last body on the floor. The Separatist Council is gone. Every one of them. His mission is complete. And he knows it. But the silence hits different this time. He looks at his hands. These aren't Anakin Skywalker's hands anymore. The gloves, the armor, the cold metal fingers. He did all of this for one reason: to save Padme, to stop the vision, to beat death itself. And then it lands on him like a blade to the chest. Palpatine lied. Not maybe, not possibly. He lied. The power to save someone from dying, it doesn't exist. Palpatine said it was Anakin's to learn, but the truth is simpler and far more cruel. There is no secret. There was never going to be. The Chancellor used his fear, used his love, used every crack in his heart, and turned him into this. A weapon. Vader stands still for a long moment. The holographic projector on the far wall glows blue. Palpatine is waiting, expecting a report, expecting his new apprentice to bow and confirm the job is done. Instead, Vader walks toward it slowly. "It is done, my master." His voice is flat, hollow. Palpatine smiles that thin, satisfied smile. "Good, good. Return to Coruscant. There is still much work ahead of us, right?" Vader looks at him, really looks, and says nothing. Then he ignites his lightsaber. Not toward the door, not to practice. He holds it up, and in the flickering glow of Mustafar's fire, he makes a choice that will shake the entire galaxy. He's not going back to Coruscant as a servant. He's going back as a destroyer. And Palpatine has no idea what just turned against him. Palpatine doesn't panic. That's the most dangerous thing about him. When the first sign of Vader's defiance reaches him, when reports stop coming, when the comm goes dark, when his new apprentice doesn't return to Coruscant, Palpatine doesn't shout. He doesn't pace. He simply sits back and waits. But he also sends every resource he has to find him. By the time Vader reaches Coruscant injured, furious, and burning with purpose, the trap is already set. The Senate building is locked down. Red guards line every corridor. And in the center of it all, sitting calmly on his throne, is Darth Sidious. "I wondered," the Emperor says quietly, "how long it would take." Vader doesn't answer. He ignites his blade and moves fast, relentless, driven by rage and grief, and 3 years of manipulation finally understood. He cuts through the first line of guards like they're made of paper. And then the lightning hits. Palpatine doesn't hold back. He throws everything. Decades of Sith mastery, raw hatred, pure dark side energy, all of it aimed at one broken man in a black suit. The lightning tears through Vader's armor. It hits the life support systems. Every shock rattles the respirator, and for one terrifying moment, Vader can't breathe. He drops to one knee. His whole body is shaking. Smoke rises from his chest plate. The lightsaber rolls away from his grip. Palpatine walks toward him slowly. "You are still a child," he says. "Powerful, yes, but untrained in what truly matters." He raises his hand for the final strike. And Vader, gasping, broken, barely conscious, does something no one expected. He reaches out through the Force and pulls the ceiling down. Not perfectly, not cleanly, but enough to break Palpatine's focus, enough to create chaos, enough to survive. Vader escapes, but barely, and Palpatine is still alive. The real war hasn't even started yet. On a battlefield on Felucia, Commander Bly fires at Aayla Secura. The shots connect. She goes down. But 40 light-years away, on Megiddo, Ki-Adi-Mundi's clones hesitate for just a second too long. Something in their command signal stutters. And in that 1 second, Mundi rolls clear, ignites his blade, and survives. That 1 second changes everything. The command structure behind Order 66 runs through a network that Palpatine controls personally. It's designed to be instant, clean, and total. But Vader, from the moment he turned against his master, has been disrupting that same network, not by design, by accident. His conflict at the source of the signal creates noise, static, like interference on a clean transmission. Some clones stop, some hesitate, some commanders override the order, entirely confused by the chaos in their comms. It isn't a rescue, it isn't a plan, but it's just enough cracks in the system to let a handful of Jedi breathe. And the ones who survive feel it. Obi-Wan Kenobi, still on Utapau, feels the darkness hit through the Force like a wave, the deaths of hundreds of Jedi, all at once. It's unlike anything he's ever experienced. He drops to his knees. But underneath all that darkness, there's something else. Something that shouldn't be there at all. Chaos. Not the clean, controlled darkness of a plan working perfectly. Something fractured, something unraveling, as if the darkness itself is at war with something, or with someone. Yoda, in his gunship above Kashyyyk, opens his eyes. The clones around him are very still hands, near their weapons, but not raised, not yet. He doesn't run, he watches. "Begun," he says quietly. "A new conflict has." Across the galaxy, scattered Jedi survivors pick themselves up from ambushes they somehow walked away from. None of them know why they're still alive. None of them know that Darth Vader is the reason. Not yet. Vader doesn't have the luxury of healing. He knows how Palpatine thinks. He knows that every hour spent recovering is an hour the Emperor uses to rebuild, to call in assets, seal off systems, and prepare for the counterstrike. So he moves. His first target is Grand Moff Tarkin, the one man in the Imperial hierarchy sharp enough to hold the command structure together without Palpatine issuing direct orders. Vader intercepts his Star Destroyer above Eriadu. The confrontation is short and brutal. Tarkin escapes in a personal shuttle, but his entire fleet surrenders. Without it, his influence collapses overnight. The second target is the cloning infrastructure on Kamino. Vader understood the clone army better than any Jedi ever did. He spent years commanding them. He knows that without a steady supply of completely loyal troops, Palpatine loses his military backbone. The Kaminoans don't resist, they're scientists, not soldiers. When Vader arrives and offers them a simple arrangement, continue your work, but serve no master they accept without hesitation. The third target is the Holocron Vault beneath Coruscant. This one is personal. Palpatine spent decades collecting Sith secrets, rituals, weapons, contingency plans buried in dozens of holocrons hidden beneath the Senate District. Vader doesn't destroy them, he takes them. Because knowledge is leverage, and right now, leverage is the only currency that matters. Word spreads fast across the galaxy. Imperial officers who believed they were serving the most powerful man in history suddenly find themselves without a chain of command. Some defect immediately, some go into hiding. A few try to fight back and learn quickly that was a serious mistake. The Empire is less than 48 hours old, and it's already falling apart. But Palpatine isn't finished. He's watching all of this from somewhere no one can find, and he's already made a decision Vader isn't an enemy to simply defeat. He's a lesson to be made. Publicly, Obi-Wan hears it first from a clone deserter on a backwater moon near Tatooine. At first, he doesn't believe it. He can't. Anakin is Darth Vader. Anakin killed the younglings. Anakin, his student, his closest friend, his brother, knelt before the very man who tried to destroy everything the Republic stood for. And now Anakin is fighting that same man. Obi-Wan sits alone with that information for a long time, in silence. When he finally meets Yoda on a hidden transport above Alderaan, arranged quietly by Bail Organa, who is barely holding himself together, the two of them face each other without speaking for almost a full minute. "Confirmed, is it?" Yoda asks finally. "Yes," Obi-Wan says. "All of it." Another silence. Yoda closes his eyes. He reaches deep into the Force, searching, measuring. And what he finds there isn't simple. It never is. The dark side is still strong, but it's not unified. There's something moving inside it. Something that still carries the shape of a person. Gone, Anakin is not, Yoda says quietly. Buried, perhaps, but gone. No. That's not what Obi-Wan wants to hear. Because Anakin being alive means a decision, and every option is terrible. They could reach out to Vader, risk everything on the chance that some part of Anakin Skywalker can still choose what's right. But he murdered children. Children who trusted his face. How do you come back from that? How do you trust that? Or they could treat him as the threat he clearly is, move against him while he's weakened, and deal with Palpatine after. But Palpatine is still out there, still breathing, still planning. Two enemies, almost no resources, and a Jedi Order that no longer exists in any real form. Bail Organa speaks the question that no one else will say out loud. What if you need both of them? What if the only way to stop Palpatine is Vader? Nobody answers. Nobody has to. Palpatine vanishes on the third day. No announcement, no battle. He is simply gone. His personal escape ship a vessel so classified that only 2 people in the Empire ever knew it existed, and both of them are now deadlifts off from a private hangar beneath the Senate district. No one sees it leave. By the time anyone thinks to look, it's already in hyperspace. He travels to a facility on the edge of wild space. The location exists on no Imperial record. It was built quietly during the Clone Wars, not as a military installation, but as a personal sanctuary, a place to think, to plan, to be completely unreachable. Palpatine arrives alone. He sits in the dark for a while. Then he starts to work. Because here's what most people never truly understood about Sheev Palpatine. He didn't become the most powerful man in the galaxy through raw strength. He became powerful through patience. Through the rare ability to take any situation, even a complete disaster, and find the angle, find the leverage, find the version of events where he still wins. Vader's betrayal is a disaster, but it is also information. Vader is emotionally unstable. He's driven by grief, not strategy. He's dismantling the Imperial structure, but he's doing it loudly, visibly, making enemies at every turn, burning bridges he may still need. Palpatine begins making quiet contact with the Imperial officers Vader hasn't reached yet, the ones who are frightened, leaderless, and looking for someone to follow. He offers them exactly what they need, a voice that is calm, controlled, and certain. He also begins tracking the Jedi movements. He knows some of them survived. He knows they're watching. And he knows that the moment Vader and the Jedi move toward each other, whether in alliance or in conflict, he can use it. A wedge. Driven at exactly the right angle, at exactly the right time. Somewhere in the dark, Palpatine smiles. He has done this before. The transmission arrives on a Jedi emergency frequency, one that hasn't been used since the Clone Wars. Obi-Wan almost doesn't answer it, but he does. The voice on the other end is filtered through a respirator, cold, mechanical, distorted, but the rhythm of the words is unmistakable, even now, even through everything that has happened. I need to speak with the Council, whatever remains of it. Obi-Wan glances across the room at Yoda, the smallest nod. There is no Council, Obi-Wan says. There's just us. A long pause from Vader's end. Then I need to speak with you. The meeting takes place on a neutral station above Corellia. Both sides set conditions. Vader comes alone. The Jedi arrive with Obi-Wan, Yoda, and Bail Organa as witness. And for the first time since Mustafar, Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi stand in the same room. Neither speaks for a long moment. You want to stop him? Obi-Wan says finally. Not a question. Yes. And after that? Vader says nothing. Obi-Wan takes one step forward. His voice is quiet and controlled, the voice of a man holding back something enormous. There were children in that temple, Anakin, children who knew your face, who ran to you. The silence that follows is the loudest thing in the room. I know, Vader says. Then you know why we cannot simply move forward. Obi-Wan's voice breaks on the last word. Just barely. Just enough. Yoda watches from across the room. He says nothing yet. but his eyes are sharp, measuring something only he can see. Vader doesn't move, doesn't flinch. "I'm not asking for forgiveness," he says. "I'm asking for a chance to finish this." Obi-Wan turns away. The meeting ends without agreement, but it doesn't end with a refusal either. It ends in a silence that holds everything: the grief, the blood, the impossible weight of what comes next. And somewhere far away, Palpatine is already watching. The galaxy doesn't know what to do without an emperor. That's the thing no one planned for. Palpatine spent decades making himself the center of everything, every institution, every chain of command, every vision for the future. Remove him, and the entire structure trembles. Systems drift. Governors argue over territory. Supply lines collapse. Worlds that were held in line by the fear of imperial force suddenly realize that fear is fractured. And into that vacuum steps no one clean. Not the Jedi. There are barely enough left to fill a single ship. Not the Senate. It was already a hollow stage long before Palpatine took his bow. Not the clones, divided, confused, slowly being released from a programming that the galaxy no longer knows what to do with. Just Vader. He holds systems together by reputation alone. His name carries a weight that no rank or title ever could because it carries fear. Worlds that would ignore a diplomat will answer a transmission when Darth Vader sends it. It isn't right. It isn't just. But it works. Obi-Wan watches from a distance and feels something he doesn't have a clean word for. Not hope, it's far too complicated for that. Not trust, that's too much to ask of anyone right now. Something in between. A reluctant, quiet acknowledgement that the man who broke everything might be the only one who can hold the pieces together long enough for something better to be built. Yoda meditates on all of this. He says very little. Because somewhere in the Force, beneath the grief and the darkness and the impossible, tangled complexity of what Anakin Skywalker has become, he senses something still flickering. Something that hasn't gone out. And Palpatine, from somewhere deep in the dark, watches all of it with cold and patient eyes. He has rebuilt before. He will rebuild again. The galaxy has no emperor, no Jedi Order, no peace. Just Vader, standing alone, between the light and something far, far worse.